As the sun dips below the horizon, a sense of tranquility descends upon the world. The day's hustle fades, replaced by soothing quietude. In these serene moments, we connect with something greater than ourselves. Nighttime offers a sacred pause to reflect and set intentions for the day to come. Throughout history, people have recognized the power of nighttime prayer. From ancient Egyptians to Native Americans, nightly rituals connected individuals to the divine. In many religions, nighttime prayers are integral, like the Muslim Isha prayer and the Jewish Shema. These practices underscore the importance of ending the day with gratitude and humility. Nightly prayers serve as a spiritual anchor, grounding us in faith and offering solace and hope. The beauty of prayer lies in its simplicity and accessibility. It is a heartfelt conversation with the divine, a pouring out of our souls. Throughout the ages, countless individuals have found solace and strength through prayer. These stories remind us that we are all connected by an invisible thread of faith. As the day ends, shift attention to the countless blessings around us. Prayers of gratitude acknowledge the goodness in our lives. Expressing gratitude for small things fills us with peace and contentment. Gratitude invites God's presence, filling us with a sense of peace. We all make mistakes, but holding on to them weighs us down. Forgiveness is essential for spiritual growth and emotional well-being. In the quiet of night, offer prayers of forgiveness for ourselves and others. Release the guilt and shame, experiencing the fullness of God's love. Night can feel vulnerable. Prayers of protection invite God's presence. Pray for protection from harm and negative influences. Psalm 91:11 assures us of God's angels guarding us. Prayers for loved ones remind us of our interconnected well-being. In moments of uncertainty, prayers of surrender acknowledge our limitations. Proverbs 3:5-6 advises trusting in the Lord with all our heart. Surrendering our will to God's will brings peace. Release burdens, allowing God to carry them for us. Nightly prayers offer a refuge from the anxieties of the day. They create a space to let go of stresses and find solace in the divine. This peace calms our minds and fills us with serenity. Regular nightly prayers deepen our faith and equip us to face challenges. Nightly prayers positively impact our mental and emotional well-being. They wash away negative thoughts, allowing positive ones to flourish. This shift in perspective reduces stress and renews our sense of purpose. Nightly prayers strengthen our spiritual resilience. Nightly prayers offer a powerful antidote to stress. They build a fortress around our hearts, shielding us from stress. This inner peace empowers us to face challenges with resilience. Regular prayer creates a sanctuary of peace within ourselves. For centuries, people of faith have attested to the transformative power of prayer, describing its ability to bring peace, healing, and a sense of connection to something greater than themselves. Science is catching up with what believers have known. Prayer impacts our well-being. Studies show prayer lowers blood pressure, boosts immunity, and speeds recovery. It reduces stress, anxiety, and depression, while increasing hope and optimism. Prayer activates brain areas linked to peace and emotional regulation. It quiets the amygdala, reducing fear and stress responses. Prayer rewires our brains, making us more resilient and positive. It connects us to a source of strength and wisdom, enhancing our lives. Embracing the practice of nightly prayers is not about adhering to a rigid set of rules or seeking a quick fix for life's challenges. It's about embarking on a journey of spiritual growth, a lifelong exploration of our relationship with the divine. It's about cultivating a deeper sense of gratitude, forgiveness, and surrender, allowing these qualities to transform our hearts and minds from the inside out. Imagine a tiny seed planted in fertile soil. With sunlight, water, and time, the seed sprouts, sending roots deep into the earth and reaching for the sky. Nightly prayers are like those essential elements, nurturing the seeds of faith within us and helping them to grow into strong, resilient trees capable of weathering any storm. As we make prayer a regular part of our lives, we become more attuned to God's presence in our lives. We begin to recognize His voice in the quiet whispers of our hearts, guiding our steps and leading us towards our highest purpose. This journey of spiritual growth is not always easy. There will be times when our faith is tested, when doubts cloud our minds, and when the answers to our prayers seem elusive. But even in those moments of uncertainty, the practice of prayer provides an anchor, reminding us that we are not alone and that a loving God is always with us. As we continue on this journey, let us approach prayer with open hearts, seeking not only to be heard but also to listen for the gentle whispers of divine guidance. Let us embrace the transformative power of prayer, allowing it to shape our thoughts, our actions, and our very being, drawing us ever closer to the source of all love, peace, and joy. I used to dread going to bed, Sarah confessed, her voice barely a whisper as if she were sharing a secret with the night itself. My mind would race with worries, replaying every mistake and every fear until I felt completely overwhelmed. Sleep was a distant dream, something other people seemed to experience effortlessly. Sarah, a young woman burdened by anxieties that clung to her like shadows, had almost resigned herself to a life of restless nights and weary days. One evening, at the urging of a friend, Sarah decided to try something different. Instead of letting her worries consume her, she knelt by her bed and poured out her heart to God. I didn't know fancy words or even if I was doing it right, she admitted. But I simply spoke to God as I would a trusted friend, sharing my fears, my doubts, and my longing for peace. That night, something remarkable happened. As Sarah surrendered her worries to a higher power, a profound sense of peace washed over her. It wasn't that her problems magically disappeared, but the weight of them seemed to lessen. It was as if a heavy cloak had been lifted from my shoulders, she explained, her eyes sparkling with newfound hope. For the first time in as long as I can remember, I felt a sense of calm settle over me. That night, Sarah slept soundly, her dreams no longer haunted by worries but filled with a sense of peace that surpassed all understanding. It was a turning point for me, she shared, her voice now strong and steady. I realized that I didn't have to carry my burdens alone. There was a power greater than myself who was always there to listen, to comfort, and to guide me through the darkest of nights. Forgiveness. It was a word I understood but struggled to embrace, admitted Michael, his gaze distant as if peering into a past filled with pain and resentment. Years of bitterness and anger towards a family member who had deeply betrayed him had left Michael emotionally drained, his heart hardened like a fortress, protecting itself from further hurt, but also isolating him from true connection and joy. I carried the weight of that anger like a stone in my chest, he confessed, his voice heavy with the burden of unforgiveness. It affected everything, my relationships, my work, even my health. I knew I couldn't go on living like that, but the pain of the betrayal was so deep, the hurt so raw, that I didn't know how to let go. One night, as Michael struggled to quiet his thoughts before sleep, a verse from the Bible came to mind. Get rid of all bitterness, rage and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. The word struck a chord deep within him, a gentle but persistent call to release the anger that had held him captive for so long. That night Michael prayed for strength to forgive, not for the sake of the person who had hurt him, but for his own peace of mind. It wasn't easy, he admitted, but as I surrendered my anger to God, I felt a weight begin to lift from my heart. It was a gradual process, but with each prayer, the bitterness faded, replaced by a glimmer of hope and a sense of freedom I hadn't realized I was missing. Forgiveness, Michael discovered, was not about condoning the wrong, but about freeing himself from the chains of resentment, allowing his heart to heal and opening himself to the possibility of experiencing true peace and joy. Maria's son, David, was diagnosed with a rare illness. Fear threatened to consume her, but she turned to prayer. Night after night she prayed for a miracle. One evening she felt a sense of peace. David's recovery was long, but Maria's faith never wavered. Today, he is healthy and thriving. I have no doubt our prayers were answered, Maria shared, her eyes shining with gratitude. Control was my illusion of safety, confessed Daniel, but life disrupted my plans. Faced with setbacks, I felt lost. My need for control became a prison. Rediscovering prayer, I surrendered to God. Letting go was terrifying, but it lifted a weight. Trusting God brought peace. True strength lies in letting go. Our family has always prayed, reminisced Eleanor, her voice soft with age but her eyes sparkling with a youthful vibrancy. It was as much a part of our daily routine as eating breakfast or tucking us into bed at night. Eleanor's childhood home, though modest, was richly adorned with the treasures of faith. From her earliest memories, Eleanor recalled her grandmother's bedtime prayers, filling her with peace and security. Those prayers were our armor, protecting us from harm, our comfort in times of trouble. As Eleanor grew older, those nightly prayers became her own, a source of strength and guidance. I've faced my share of storms, she admitted, but through it all, prayer has been my constant companion. Now, as a grandmother, Eleanor cherishes passing on this legacy of faith to her grandchildren. It's my hope, she shared, that these prayers will guide and protect them throughout their lives. As we've journeyed through the quiet strength of nightly prayers, we've uncovered a truth as old as time itself. In the stillness, we find our connection to something greater. We've explored the different ways to reach out through gratitude, forgiveness, protection, and the courage to surrender. We've heard echoes of peace from hearts touched by grace, seen the science confirm what the soul already knew. The world rushes on, a whirlwind of demands and distractions. But when we kneel, when we whisper, when we simply close our eyes and open our hearts at the end of the day, we step off that relentless wheel. The power isn't in the words themselves, but in the posture of our souls before the one who made us. Think of a child, finally tucked in after a long day. The toys are put away, the stories have been read, and there's a deep exhale as they snuggle into safety. That's what nightly prayer offers us. A return to the source of all comfort, a chance to lay our burdens down and be held. It doesn't fix everything instantly, but it realigns us with the truth. We are not alone. And in that realization, hope takes root, faith blooms, and even the darkest night can't extinguish the light within. Imagine a city that never sleeps, streets bustling with activity, lights blazing through the night, the constant hum of motion filling the air. That's what our minds can feel like sometimes, overwhelmed by the demands of daily life, the endless to-do lists, the worries that swirl like dust devils in our thoughts. But tucked away on a quiet street corner, there's a hidden garden. Stone walls block out the noise, a fountain whispers its soothing melody, and the air is sweet with the scent of jasmine and honeysuckle. This is our sanctuary, the peace found in nightly prayers. It doesn't require elaborate rituals or complicated words. Just a few moments of stillness, a heartfelt conversation with the one who knows us best. We bring our gratitude for the blessings, big and small, that filled our day. We release the hurts, the worries, the burdens that weigh us down. We ask for guidance, for protection, for the strength to face whatever tomorrow may bring. And in that quiet space, something remarkable happens. The noise of the world fades away, and we reconnect with the still, small voice within, the voice of truth, of hope, of unwavering love. It's a peace that surpasses understanding, a peace that calms the storms of our minds and fills us with a quiet strength to face the day ahead. Nightly prayers aren't just a religious duty or a box to check off on our spiritual to-do lists. They are an invitation, an opportunity to open ourselves to a power greater than ourselves, to tap into a source of love, peace, and wisdom that can transform our lives from the inside out. Think of a stained glass window, dark and lifeless until the sunlight streams through, illuminating the intricate details, the vibrant colors, the beauty hidden within. That's what prayer can do for us. It allows the light of God's love to shine through the broken places within us, revealing our true potential, our inherent worthiness, the beauty that was always there, waiting to be seen. As we make prayer a regular part of our lives, we begin to experience subtle but profound shifts within ourselves. We become more patient, more compassionate, more forgiving, not just towards others but towards ourselves as well. We develop a deeper sense of gratitude, noticing the blessings that surround us every day, even in the midst of challenges. We find the courage to let go of our need for control, trusting that even when we don't understand, God is working all things together for our good. It's not an overnight transformation, but a gradual unfolding, a journey of growth and discovery that deepens our faith, enriches our lives, and allows us to experience the fullness of God's love in ways we never thought possible. Life can feel like a long and winding road, sometimes smooth and straight, other times filled with unexpected detours and seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's easy to get lost along the way, to lose sight of our destination, to forget who we are and why we're here. But nightly prayers are like the stars in the night sky, constant and true, guiding us back to our true home, the place where we are known and loved unconditionally. They remind us that we are not alone on this journey, that a loving God is always with us, every step of the way. Each prayer is a step closer to our true selves, a stripping away of the layers of fear, doubt, and self-judgment that keep us from experiencing the fullness of God's love. It's a journey of coming home to the truth of who we are, beloved children of God, created in His image, worthy of love, deserving of joy. And as we surrender our worries, our fears, and our need for control, we open ourselves to receive the guidance, the strength, and the unwavering love that are always available to us. We discover that the journey itself is sacred, each step an opportunity for growth, for healing, for transformation. The night has fallen, a hush has settled over the world, and it's time to let go of the day's burdens and find rest in the loving embrace of the divine. As you prepare for sleep, let the words of Psalm 4, verse 8 wash over you like a soothing balm. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Don't overthink it, don't worry about saying the right words. Just speak from the heart, share your gratitude, release your worries, ask for guidance, and surrender your need for control. Trust that you are heard, that you are loved, that you are never alone. Go now, and rest in the knowledge that you are held in the palm of God's hand, surrounded by His love, protected by His grace. And as you drift off to sleep, may His peace fill your heart, His love guard your dreams, and His joy greet you with the dawn.